Hey guys, it's Patrick Ross. We're back for another Let's Play of Into the Breach. I hope everyone's having a good day, getting some positive vibes. So in the previous videos, we beat some of the early levels on this particular continent, and now we're moving on to the boss fight. Let's get into it. So what's challenging about these final fights on each of the different maps is that there's one unit that's exceptionally strong. In this fight, it's going to be the Firefly Leader. We can click on him. So this unit can move through spaces. It's massive. Sorry, I scrolled off of it. Massive. So it's going to be able to walk on water, or sort of walk through the water spaces. It's got two effects. First off, the Invigorating Spores. So one extra health for all the other Vex. It's a leader, and its attack is quite strange. It shoots in both directions, forward and behind the unit, as you can see. And it does 4 damage. So this unit is going to be a big hassle within the fight. The other unit that we are maybe concerned about already is this Soldier Scion, which provides a passive bonus. It gives more health to the other units. You know, I think I'm actually going to maybe switch just a little bit. So I put myself, Patrick Ross, slightly closer to the Soldier Scion because I do want to kill that unit as quickly as possible. All right, the heroes are here. Let's see if we can save the town. So you can see the attack pattern right here, right? It's shooting both directions. Fortunately, the map is actually, it seems nice. I think we've got a good setup already to maybe take advantage of this map. And in fact, the moves by the opponent are really nice, really nice. So what I'm going to do is move here and just kill off the Soldier Scion just to weaken all the other units. And that move is also beneficial because now I'm standing on top of this Vex spawning spot, so I'll prevent a Vex from spawning next turn. The other thing I can do, and I am going to do, is just shoot the leader so that it moves right here. And this is a great move for a few reasons. First, it's now shooting its own ally and will kill its ally. So I don't have to worry about this particular Scorpion whatsoever. Second, it's blocking the spawn of another Vec, which is great because it's causing damage to the Firefly Leader and reduces the number of units that I have to deal with. Just to weaken this unit further, I'm going to shoot it as well. It just does 1 damage. It doesn't do anything else overall. So this was, just because of the map layout and the moves of my opponents, this was a very strong turn for us in this game. Those enemies were blocked. Great defense. So I think I would be interested in what other players think about blocking versus not blocking. I'm very divided on the issue. I do think it can be very useful. So this is a turn where we're going to be able to kill off the Firefly Leader. It's only got 3 health. Patrick Ross, our representative in this game, can deal the final blow, and we can have one of these other units do damage. I think what I'm going to do is come up here, punch the Vec, and I think I'm going to want to kill it with Frank, just so Frank can get the experience, and also because I want to use, I think Lily is our other unit. I want to use Lily to block. Lily has the most health, so she is best suited for blocking. All right, great. So you can see over here, we've gotten our first bonus objective already accomplished. We killed off the opposing Vec leader, the Hive leader. And I looked a little bit into the backstory behind it, and the idea is that when we defeat the Vex on the previous maps, it makes the Hive Leader mad, and it causes them to emerge from their lair. So that's kind of the lore behind this. Really interesting move by the Scorpion to move intentionally into a fire space. That's going to deal 1 passive damage each turn. Not smart. So what I would love to do this turn is if I could push one of the Vex onto a spawn spot. Obviously not this one. Maybe we can push one onto this space. To follow up on what we talked about last video, the way that I mentally organize my turns is I first look at how many Vex are there, how many are attacking me and how many are attacking my health, my grid power. So we've got one Vec that's attacking the grid power, and so we definitely need to deal with this Hornet. This Hornet is attacking essentially nothing, and here it's only attacking, my only concern is because I'm webbed, I can't do as much. Let's see how we can move Frank to better suit, to try to move this Scorpion to that space. Unfortunately, I don't think we're gonna be able to move it onto blocking this space. So I think the best move is, I like my own unit being in the center of the board as much as possible, but here I'm going to move off the center of the board just to kill off the Hornet because it's attacking the buildings, which I know I need to protect. Over here, I don't think there's one move maybe that's better than another. I do want to make sure that Frank gets into a position that's more influential within the game. So I am going to move it and maybe shoot. Let's see. So I could do this damage, and I think it's fine to hurt myself through this damage. I'm going to shoot here just because Lily has so much health that I'm not concerned about her taking that damage. And I'm just going to do one more. So I didn't try to block the spawn. Perhaps I could have. The unit is going to die because of the passive damage. But I'm fine with these units spawning now because I'm now only going to have to deal with 3 next turn. And when we have an equal number of units, it's something that I think we can deal with quite efficiently. All right, great. So Lily's extra health, which we remember we sort of gave her a passive bonus last turn to increase her health, is really coming into play in this game. She's absorbing a lot of damage and doing so in a way that benefits us. All right, so this is the final turn of the game. We have 3 Vecs, and we need to definitely deal with one of them, right? This one Vec is attacking buildings. These 2 are attacking just a position, and I can always move out of that position. So these 2 Vecs are essentially meaningless in this turn. The only Vec I need to concern myself with is this Scorpion. And the play is quite simple, right? I just move it to the side. And now I can think about perhaps how can I do damage to get experience. One thing that I could do with this unit is just moving for the sake of it. Let's knock these 2 units into each other, giving myself some more experience by killing the final Vec. As my last move, I do want to protect Lily from taking damage, just maybe because I feel like that's a nice thing to do. So I'm going to just scoot this Vec out of the way. No reason for doing that whatsoever. Yeah, so this was our first boss fight, and it went extremely well. I think some of it had to do with the way that the board was set up, but we also made good decisions trying to eliminate the Firefly leader quickly. The positioning of the Vecs was quite good at the beginning of the fight that enabled us to make these good moves. Great. So Lily, thanks to her great work in battle, has more experience. We got 2 more HP, so perhaps I'm going to cash in some of the rewards I already spent on her and shift that to another area. Thank you, Mr. CEO. So we've gotten some rewards. We get to select 1 free reward. We can either get 2 more health, we can get a new unit, which looks interesting, or we could get a passive effect where mechs gain 1 more move if they start adjacent to each other. I think we should get Archimedes here. I like the ability, although it does require 1 power. And over the way the game works is you can keep replaying. Whenever you lose, you sort of start back, but you start back at the beginning, but you retain the things that the characters that you've seen before. So getting characters can help over a longer, if we do ultimately fail in this playthrough, in this timeline is what it's called, we can now use Archimedes in the future, or keep Archimedes if we choose. So we've gotten cash. We've gotten 6 cash money that we can spend to get other useful things. I really don't have too much preference for how to spend this. I definitely spend it on grid power if I don't have full power. Reactor cores are ways to upgrade our units. One thing that I can do is I can sell things back to the bank. I'm going to get rid of Joji, and I'm going to get rid of Frank. Sorry. Now we just have these 3 unique pilots, and these are going to be the 3 pilots that we're going to try to stick with throughout the game. So now I have 8 cash to use to purchase new things. So these are the options I have that I can buy from. They are different types of weapons. I think they can all be quite interesting. This one I do like. Deploys a shield tank to give shields to allies. That seems quite useful. Whenever there's an option to increase the number of units that I have, I always think that's like good value for money. This smoke drop is not something that I've played with before, but it also looks quite good. Drops smoke on 5 tiles, and I think what smoke does is it prevents the enemy from attacking. I think we're going to take that for 2, and then let's get 2 reactor cores for the other 6, and that will cash in all of the money that we had. And we can use the reactor cores to power up these different things. I'm not exactly sure how the smoke drop works, but I do want to check it out. Let's see. All right. So now that we've increased our units, we can now take sort of things that we bought and use them. So now Archimedes is going to be taking control of this particular, the long-range artillery. And we also need to install our 2 additional reactor cores, which we just purchased, as well as this smoke drop. So let's see. Let's see how the smoke drop works. Okay. I think this is fine. It's just a one-time use per battle. I don't need to spend any, I don't need to use any reactor cores to make it, to activate this effect. Let's put it on Archimedes because he's always sort of our long-range unit anyway, and this seems to be something that a long-range unit might want to have handy. I'm going to remove the reactor core, which I previously had put on the health, because the passive effect of Lily gives her 2 additional HP, and I'm going to instead put it on the movement, just so she can go slightly farther. I do think it might be useful to increase the Taurus cannon, so we'll see. I'm also going to install one of our 2 reactor cores on Archimedes and give him Fire and Forget, which is a very nice ability that this particular unit has, where it gets to move again after shooting. And the reason I would want to move again after shooting is I could shoot, move, and then block another Vec from spawning if I wanted to. That encourages me to perhaps spend the other reactor core here to increase this unit's health, because if I'm going to be blocking, I'm going to need more health. Let's do that right away. So I've sort of invested heavily into my long-range unit. Lily is a strong unit already. If I did have another reactor core, I would be inclined to upgrade the Taurus cannon to do 1 more damage. And myself, your humble leader, Patrick Ross, I think is fine as is. I'm already strong enough. Don't need any more. It would just be overpowering. All right, great. So we've covered the first island, and now we can move on to the second one. And since this is our first timeline, there's only one island we can try out. And that's going to be the RST Corporation. Let's check it out. Yeah, okay. We'll postpone this discussion. So we get to choose our first level on this map. And by my memory, I think that the previous map was like earthy themed, grassy themed. This one is more of a desert theme map, and smoke is going to be something that's important in this particular map. Let's try the Lone Mesa as our first level. Cool. So yeah, you can definitely see the sort of the desert theme. That's cool. I really like the artwork in this game. It's simple, but I think it does a very good job. All right, cool. So I'm going to put Patrick Ross towards the middle, but I want to keep it as close as possible to this particular Vec, the Blast Scion, because I know I'm going to want to kill that if I can. Let's just do this. All right. We'll see what the enemies do once we get into battle. All right, Patrick Ross, he's gung-ho. Okay, cool. So the special thing about this particular level is that there is a cataclysm, and so these marked tiles are going to disappear, and anything that is standing on the tiles will die. So I don't want to move any of my units onto these 3 highlighted tiles. Sorry. I don't think pushing the Hornet on the tiles does anything because it's a flying unit, and even though there's nothing beneath it, I still think it flies. If I was to push this Scarab onto one of these tiles, it would die. So this is a new enemy that we're going to be fighting with. Let's check it out, the Scarab. So it's one of our first long-range units that's equivalent to our artillery unit in that it can shoot over buildings. It does 3 damage. So that's a lot more than what we saw on the first level. So this is definitely getting harder. The Hornet is similarly the exact same as what we saw before, 2 health, 1 damage. And this is a new passive unit that we might have to deal with, which causes the other Vex to explode when they die. Let's start off by just killing the passive bonus so that now these other units don't explode when they die. I always like trying, I sort of recommend trying to kill these units that provide passive effects as quickly as possible in order to prevent them from stacking over the course of the game. There is a really nice shot that I can make here where I can move here and I can push the Scarab into the water. Wow. I like that reaction from these people. I do like, so there's people watching this battle for their lives, and we get to see their like sentence or phrase reactions to these different events. I find it it's funny. I find it funny. I guess that's just the type of person I am. So the last move I get to make is with Lily. Remember, Lily at the beginning of the battle can move basically anywhere, which is fantastic. And she has a lot of health. So I could move all the way to block one of these Vex spawns, but I don't want to right now because I'm already doing so well, right? Like I've knocked it down to just 1 Vex to deal with. I'm going to push it onto this Cataclysm because I do want to make sure I don't remember exactly how the interaction works. And I get an extra movement for Archimedes because he moved, he shot, and we gave it that extra bonus. But I think he's fine. He's fine where he is. All right. No, sorry, he's not fine. Because if I left him here, he'd be stuck in this corner after the Cataclysm. We'll move him back to this other side. All right, and that'll be our first turn in the game. Maybe this is like a Martian surface. I don't know. That's how I imagine it. Okay, so this particular Hornet can fly even though there's nothing supporting it, which I don't know if that makes sense or not. It seems kind of counterintuitive to me, but I don't know. Oh, we've got a new enemy to deal with. It's this armored beetle, or maybe an armored skittle. Yeah, it's a beetle. Okay, perfect. See, I know the game. I know what I'm talking about. Okay, so it charges forward, which is very cool, and it does 1 damage. It's got 2 movement originally and 4 health. Okay, so it's going to try and blow into these buildings. So let's do our check, right? Our checklist. We've got 3 Vex that we need to deal with, 2 of which are attacking buildings. This particular unit is doing a long range attack. This one's also doing a long range attack, and then this guy's essentially attacking nothing. Also, his health is quite low. What am I going to do? I feel like this is just such a nice turn for me because I don't have to do much, and I think I'm going to win. So I'm going to just move Lily out of the way. I'm not going to do much with a Lily. What I think I want to do is just kill this particular unit, and again, knock this Scarab into the water. Okay, great. So Archimedes is already leveled up, which is fantastic. And we get to move Archimedes once again after the turn ends. Let's move him right into the center of the map. So these are the 3 spots that are going to have a Cataclysm. Okay. So there's one more Vex that I need to deal with. I don't think there's a really clean way to deal with this Vex. I think there are a couple options, but none of them just stands out to me. I could push him to either side. I don't know what happens when the Vex runs through this dust. The dust has an effect where units that are within the dust, the smoke, cannot attack or repair. I think I'm going to just get in his way and do that, with the idea being that there's dust here, so when he attacks me, he'll end up in the dust. I don't think that's the interaction that I think it's going to be, but we're doing well, right? We're doing great. I feel like that's a real George Bush quote. If you're not with me, you're against me. That's W right there. Okay, cool. So let's see. We've got 2 more turns. We've got now 1, 2, 3, 4 Vex that we need to deal with. Webs here. I'm being attacked, which is fine. This building's being attacked. It's annoying that the Cataclysm now kind of prevents me from dealing with this particular Vec efficiently. Although I can do a great job with this one. So let's see. Let's see what we can do. I wonder if we're running we might need to take a building damage here. I feel like we're kind of running low on options. So I can't free this particular unit in a way that's very meaningful. So I think Lily is just going to have to shoot this Vec, which doesn't accomplish much. I can pull this guy back into the this sort of empty space, but the unit doesn't die. So that's again kind of a waste of a turn. I can push this unit into the water, but it's already down to 2 health. And I don't really have, if I do all those things, I don't really have a plan for dealing with this unit, which can apparently go straight through the dust. So that's unfortunate. This might be the turn where I do end up using Archimedes' special ability to drop smoke, since there are only 2 to go. Or I could save that for the last turn of the game. I'm not sure which we're going to want to do. Maybe the best play is for Archimedes to move over here and pull this guy into the water while blocking. But that means I would never be able to do anything about this particular building, and that's unfortunate. I guess now I'm trying to weigh up, like, when is it okay to take some grid power, and when is the cost not? Like, if we can avoid it, obviously we want to. But it seems like we can make the level a lot easier for ourselves if we just admit that we're going to take a damage here. Let's play it out that way. Let's move here. Actually, this unit gets to move again after it shoots, which could be useful. I can still block this after doing something else. Feel like if I wanted to do the dust now, okay. I'll do this. I'll pull this first Vec into the water, killing it. And now I get to move again. Unfortunately, I think I'm just going to want to stay here. Lily is going to move this Vec away, which doesn't really accomplish anything in the grand scheme of things. And this is, I think, a side effect of having moved Lily off to the corner of the map where she's not extremely effective. Oh, that was not a smart move. You know, what I didn't recognize with this particular Vec is that when it runs forward, this land is going to be gone, and so it's going to be jumping into nothing. Let's reset the turn. I think I now see a better way to play this. I think it's fine just to move here, kill the Vec immediately. With Archimedes, I think it's fine just to pull this Vec away into this chasm and then move here to block the spawn. And then finally with Lily, we can essentially do nothing. The reason I think this move is fine is because the beetle, I think, is going to fall into nothing. And yeah, let's see what happens. Yeah, okay. See, I feel kind of vindicated. And I feel like that's kind of the way this game works. Like, you'll see a better move. Hopefully you get to see it before you commit. But sometimes you don't, right? Sometimes you see a better move almost immediately after you've committed to your first move. This time it worked out really well. So here's our last turn of the game, and we've got our special ability that we can use this smoke thing. And I do, like, if possible, want to use it because it would be cool to see how it works. Maybe I don't even need to, though. Yeah, I don't know if I even need to. So this particular tile is going. It's the only one that I see that's going away. Lily can shoot this particular Vec, and it would be great if I could kill it, and I can, right? I can just move it off into the void. Yeah, we're good. So let's end that turn. I think we had to, so this, I thought we were going to have to give up a health here, but we never needed to. This level, again, we did it. 3 cheers. Fantastic. All right, guys. So that'll complete this Let's Play. In the next one, we'll move on to try out some other areas of this Mars-like region. See you guys next time.